and welcome to Weekly News on Praha TV. I'm Marcela Tomčíková, and as always, I'm here to guide you through the most compelling stories from our capital and the central Bohemian region, from inspiring community efforts to key developments shaping our daily lives. Let's take a closer look at what's been happening around us this week. Big project, big ambitions. The Ministry of Transport has presented a study that envisages the construction of a new D99 motorway ring road around Prague. The route, approximately 205 kilometers long, should be built within 25 years and serve not only to divert transit traffic outside the capital, but also to better connect central Bohemian towns. However, the construction will have to take into account protected landscape areas and difficult terrain.
The Ministry of Transport released a study on the potential for highway network development, allowing for new infrastructure in the next 25 years. Suddenly, the project for the central Bohemian bypass of Prague came to the table, which is supposed to encircle the capital at a greater distance than the current Prague Ring Road. The central Bohemian Ring Road, known as D90, is projected to be around 205 kilometers long.
The key issue is that after this year, when we model the traffic flows, it will be essential to establish an even more distant connection. This means creating an outer ring for the metropolitan area. The considered route would, in certain instances, align with the existing overloaded traffic routes. One example is the Route 116 connecting Slani and Nová Ves near Mělník. An additional significant connection would involve improving the link to Benešov and effectively completing the ring towards Brandýs nad Labem Stará Boleslav. The only meaning is that one.
The core aspect is the pure transit traffic that only leaves through the Prague agglomeration, which is crucial for understanding Prague. This is to prevent it from entering the Prague agglomeration and to ease the burden on it. Simultaneously, as I have already pointed out, it serves to link the innovative cities within the central Bohemian region together.
For example, a new road, 116, will be created from the existing road that goes around Slani.
I don't drive like that. I prefer to travel through the villages here.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
The idea is unique, but it came too late. Look at how the Road 16 looks. There's an accident after another. It's impossible to drive there. It's all trucks, and it's truly a dangerous road.
I don't care about this stuff. When we go out, it's mostly to shop or to see my mother.
At this moment, we are planning a typical 4-lane highway. Of course, this will be refined over time as the models will be adjusted and some sections may turn out to be more capacious.
The proposed route is not a perfect circle. The western section will utilize the existing highway network at that time. Therefore, the question arose for...
In some cases, we must, of course, respect the protected landscape area of Brdy. We must also fit within the constraints to ensure that building such a highway does not become costlier due to the difficult terrain. And considering that the surroundings of Prague do not represent an easy terrain, and from the perspective of, for example, population density, the search for that ideal route will certainly take several more years.
The study must be seen as a suggestion for the ongoing development of the planned and now nearing completion highway and primary road network. The exact parameters of the central Bohemian bypass may change over the years.
And we go on with the big reconstruction of the Libeň Bridge. The technical administration of roads of the city of Prague has started the main construction work on the first stage of this reconstruction. This includes the reconstruction of the original 3 bridge structures: the bridge over Storchova Street, the arc of the flood bridge, and the frame structure over Vodstárova Street, which has the form of a combinated bridge. All the original bridge structures were in poor technical condition, and it was planned to replace them with new structures. Storchova Street is one way around the construction site. During the work on the supporting structure, there will also be partial restrictions on Vodstárova Street. The work will last until 2027.
Finally, it's here. The long-awaited event has taken place. The Libeň Bridge is starting to be taken down and a new bridge will be built in its location.
We are trying to limit the construction effects with the contractor. We are planning new traffic systems, which may necessitate limiting or stopping traffic from Stazova to Torchova for a while. This will occur during the construction of the arches, and it will always be a matter of a few days.
The Lieben Bridge project is organized into 4 phases. We are at the first phase, while permits for the remaining phases are still pending. Once we have the permits, a temporary bridge or a new road will be built on Badnik Street.
It depends on the fact that when we close the bridge and gradually demolish it, we will first need to build a temporary bridge that will serve for walkers and cyclists. The temporary bridge will be connected to public transport, so we are trying to minimize the impact as much as possible, and there will be some detour routes.
Eventually, personal cars will not be able to use the bridge, but this will take a while to implement.
Tram service is indeed restricted, and regrettably, this limitation will last longer. It will be further restricted as soon as we begin the bridge restoration that crosses the Vltava. We will try to keep traffic closures brief, but it depends on when we get the permits. The timing of when we obtain all the necessary approvals from the government for the bridge repair over the Vltava.
Storchova Street is one way near the construction site, and Podstasova will also have partial restrictions. It is expected that traffic restrictions on Storchova Street will occur from August to December more frequently, and on Podstasova Street from April to July more often. These restrictions will primarily affect freight transport and the city's substitute bus service. The completion of this part of the bridge construction is planned for the first half of the year. That will be in the year more than 2027.
This year, in 2025, the Czech Republic commemorates 1,100 years since the remains of Saint Ludmila were transferred to Prague Castle. On this occasion, the Saint Ludmila Association launched a new project of pilgrimage tourism, which connects the memory of the landscape, spiritual heritage, and the effort to divert tourists from the congested places. The city districts of Prague have also signed a memorandum of cooperation.
The paths of Czech pilgrims are now linked by the Saint Ludmila pilgrimage route. This project, created for the anniversary of their relics transfer, connects cities, monuments and landscapes with spiritual and historical values. Pilgrimage tourism is growing, says the Saint Ludmila Association. Thus, the association has initiated the signing of a cooperation memorandum that includes regions, city districts and the private sector.
We will definitely take part in an information campaign, as it is essential, the alpha and omega, to bring the entire project of the St. Ludmila pilgrimage route to the awareness of the public. I would be pleased if we succeed in showcasing the specific locations involved in the St. Ludmila pilgrimage route in Prague, as they are not numerous, so that they are particularly emphasized for our citizens, because a pilgrimage does not necessarily have to be a long-distance journey. But it can also be just a few hundred meters with a thought to find something meaningful.
The St. Ludmila Trail starts at Mielnik and passes through Tetín, the place of her martyrdom. An extended section of the St. Vincent's Trail has been established, which will conclude in Břevnov, Prague.
This is a big deal for us. So far, we have primarily operated in the central Bohemian region. And now our main metropolis is joining in, which I think is an amazing step. As Prague is filled with tourists, it's beneficial to provide them with alternatives for sites they can explore, as Karlstein and the Old Town Square aren't the sole treasures in Prague.
Prague, too, has been with the Svata Ludmila group for 6 years, so we've been able to contribute to various anniversary events. When we remembered St. Ludmila's martyrdom anniversary, and since then, many activities have happened. So, the trail that was ceremonially launched today, with the preparation of a memorandum, is another continuation of the activities we've been doing in the meantime.
Central Bohemia is involved in the project, noting that sites related to Czech saints have great potential for quality tourism development.
Central Bohemia has consistently supported the Svata Ludmila Association because there are many monuments in the Central Bohemian region associated with the saint, including St. Ludmila and St. Isabel and St. Benedict. It makes good sense for the Central Bohemian region to draw the traveling public's attention to these sites, since they are gorgeous and historic, repaired, and have the potential to attract people to individual tourism in the countryside. the potential to encourage people to travel on foot the central Bohemian region and also by public transport. This is what Central Bohemia wants, people to use public transport.
All parties involved agree that the new pilgrimage project can offer an alternative to overcrowded routes while also strengthening ties to local cultural heritage. The St. Ludmila Trail is not just a path walked by the first Czech princess, but also a challenge to discover our own roots.
The winning project of this year's Kick Prague competition uses augmented reality for orientation in the underground metro. Navigar beat 8 other teams that presented their own proposals to improve life in the capital to the jury. In addition to the financial prize, the authors of the winning solution received professional support for further implementation.
The application designed to assist individuals in navigating the underground areas of the metro has emerged victorious in this year's Kick Prague competition. The Navigar project triumphed over 8 other teams that showcased their ideas to the jury for making life better in the capital city.
Our project focuses on utilizing augmented reality in the underground sections of stations, which we like to compare to CZ maps that work even underground. This was the current state of CZ.
Let's envision a metro passenger who is getting off at a bridge and needs directions to the State Theater. They turn on Navigar, click that they want to go to the bridge, and then select the State Theater as their destination. Once the user disembarks, they press Navigate, and the application guides them to the correct exit using augmented reality.
The jury found the practicality and technological innovation particularly appealing, believing it could really aid people.
It's a solution that guides you when you're in the metro and have no signal, showing you exactly where to go. There are several exits at the bridge, which can be confusing.
In Prague, the municipal company operator ICT is organizing this, intending to involve citizens in crafting new solutions for the city.
The primary concept was to create a space that engages citizens in the innovations of the city and its advancements, effectively connecting with the innovative community, to enable us to introduce new ideas and assist the city in becoming aware of them.
According to the organizers, young people have a natural sensitivity for such initiatives, and their perspective can bring about change.
Young people bring a fresh perspective there. They occasionally introduce a unique naivety. Yet I think that's precisely what we need to advance a bit further and dismantle our old filters, stereotypes, allowing us to view the world through new lenses.
Winning teams receive not only financial rewards but also expert guidance and mentoring. According to city representatives, the competition makes sense precisely because it connects officials with ordinary residents.
People who work for the city day by day have it in their job description and strive to improve the city alongside those who live there. They perceive its flaws, so to speak, with fresh eyes, allowing them to generate ideas.
Due to the competition, sensors for intelligent street cleaning and the MetaCity visualization tool are already operational in Prague.
New, significantly stronger and more dangerous drugs have been appearing in Prague in recent days and weeks. The police in the capital have already recorded several such cases, some with tragic endings. Rescue workers, who often come into unwanted contact with opiates, must also prepare for a possible epidemic of these substances. In particular, the high-risk drug nitazene and the substance spirochlorphine are newly appearing in the capital. This year's Navalis Baroque Festival offered a historic moment. The Venetian Patriarch Francesco Moraglia visited Prague for the first time. He not only attended the reception of pilgrims in the Senate, but also blessed the riders and symbolically honored St. John of Nepomuk, Jan Nepomucký, on Charles Bridge. Navalis is more and more popular, not only with Prague citizens, but also with tourists.
The Baroque St. John's festivities in Valles on Thursday featured a historic event, as the Venetian Patriarch Francesco Moraglia visited Prague for the first time. He was welcomed in the Czech Senate at noon alongside the pilgrims, a moment that will remain unforgettable for everyone present. The official welcome for the pilgrims during the St. John's festivities at Vales occurred right here, in the main hall of the Valštinsky.
During the Navalis period, pilgrims are routinely welcomed in the Senate, who arrive for the St. John's and Slovak Navalis, and it is very pleasant. It is a great honor for us. This year, there were pilgrims from Venice and from the Sicilian town of Stazo, which has the Church of St. Nepomuki directly on the shore, and the town celebrates regularly as well.
La prima volta ne avevo sentito parlare tanto perché Praga è una città.
Yes, it is the first time I am in Prague. I have heard about Prague before. It is a city that many people love. It is a beautiful city, mainly visited for its culture. I really enjoy the local organization, cleanliness, and the beautiful historic center here. Now I will get to see the cathedral, which I am eagerly anticipating, and I must say that Prague is a beautiful gateway to the Czech Republic.
Del centro storico. Adesso vedrò anche la cattedrale oggi.
Following that, the festivities resumed at 2:30 p.m. in Hradčanské Square, where they started adorning the horses for the evening parade. The place was filled with music and a variety of vibrant regions.
I like this a lot. It's my first time.
Do you know why you are decorating here?
It's for the celebration of John of Nepomuk.
Will you be here all day?
We will be. Perhaps until evening when we'll check out the gondolas.
And yesterday we were looking at what was there on the boat. I'm looking forward to the evening too. I've been preparing for this for a year.
Following the ceremonial adornment of the horses, both the Prague Archbishop Jan Graubner and the Venetian Patriarch Francesco Moraglia will bless the horses and their riders.
He's a key patron of Venice. We published a semi-annual about John of Nepomuk in Venice. And in 19, I believe they highlighted the friendship between Venice and Prague by creating the Prague Nepomuceno vision. We established the vision of Prague Nepomuceno.
Great to see you here. I know it's not just a joke. You have embarked on a long journey with the horses. I wish you God's guidance.
After the blessing, a ceremonial event followed at St. Vitus Cathedral, which lasted about an hour and a half. Then the St. John's procession took place. Shortly after 7 o'clock, the St. John's procession set off from Hradčanské Square down to Charles Bridge. The entire procession was accompanied by hundreds of people. How's the procession?
I like it a lot.
Why is this here?
St. John of Nepomuk, it's nice. We are from Konovic. We have horses. It's ours.
Have you been here before?
Yes, I think I visited 4 times. I like it.
Have you been?
No, we've never been anywhere.
Una figura attualissima. Oggi si dice che non si
Character of John of Nepomuk is quite current, as it is said that we are primarily bound by testimony. John of Nepomuk represents the connection between church and political power. John of Nepomuk primarily faced political power, and he resisted it. His martyrdom symbolizes that a sinner can achieve mercy through God, and that is what matters not just for people but also for priests.
tener testa al potere politico.
The celebrations included a regatta of Venetian boats and 5 swimmers with torches, representing John of Nepomuk. Everything was beautifully wrapped up with a magnificent concert on the Vltava River, conducted by Marek Krzysztof. This year, we celebrated the 17th anniversary of the John the Baptist festivities in Wales, a tradition that actually stretches back into history. In fact, they were held for the first time in 1729 to celebrate the canonization of Saint John of Nepomuk.
That's all for this week's edition of Praha TV Weekly News. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure to share these stories with you. I look forward to joining you again next time with more updates from Prague and the Central Bohemian region. Until then, take care and stay well.